Morning. So somebody, Kyle, I think his name is, made an edit of the Obi Wan Kenobi show, turned it from a 6-part miniseries into a full-fledged freaking 2.5-hour feature film. Somehow, Disney has not gotten out of their way to sue him at all, and I'm happy about it because this edit is decent. I'm saying it's decent because I don't want to flat out say it's amazing, because that would mean that there are aspects of the Obi Wan Kenobi show that are amazing. I don't think the show in and of itself is amazing or executed in the best way possible from a directorial standpoint, an editing standpoint, and or just a writing standpoint. All those aspects kind of come together to make a rather all-right at best show, if not supremely disappointing. So taking an all-right at best TV series and turning it into a feature film, at least cutting out the parts that are really not good, improves it. I don't think it makes it amazing or anything. It still has the same problems. I mean, I'm not going to complain too much. That being said, it's still a good edit. And there are good things that the show did. They're focused on more here. Like, the show actually starts with Obi-Wan Kenobi, not the Jedi Temple or Reva. It freaking starts with Obi-Wan Kenobi. It actually plays traditional Star Wars music. The pacing is better. The best chase scene in all of cinema is edited out entirely. The fire mistake in Episode 3 is fixed. But I think all this goes to show that this series wasn't well put together in the first place, to the point where fans had felt like they had to come in and fix certain things. I mean, it's not new for Star Wars. They did that with The Phantom Menace. They did that with the prequels back then. This is not something that's new for Star Wars. But I think it's notable that all these fans feel passionately about the material enough to say, well, there were some flaws here, but there were some overall good things that we want to focus on those good things and make it into something that I think we can all agree was much more well handled than the actual TV series. I think that speaks well for a positive fan base, because most of these people that are, linking to their own edits online, which, by the way, like, there's a main edit made by someone. It's the one that's making the rounds on IGN and all of these news sites. But there are like a crap ton of other edits online that also do the same thing, that cut it down from like 2 hours and 30 minutes to like, one of them was like an hour and 30 minutes. Like, really cut down a lot of things. But I feel like for the most part, all the ones that I did see, they have a passion for the story of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, and they respect the fact that, yeah, they're making an edit of themselves. This is not something that they shot. They're taking in existing material and just cutting it the frick down. And they're not selling it. They're providing a link. They just took time out of their week to say, I want to do this because I have a passion for it. Which has got to be an insult for people who actually work at Disney and get paid by Disney, seeing other people online re-editing the stuff that they spend months and months to edit. But all it is to say, like, a lot of people are screaming toxic in Star Wars community, and that the Star Wars community is toxic, which certainly can be. There's instances of Moses Ingram being bullied online, for sure, is pretty toxic by certain people. But to a better degree, I feel like this should show Disney that there are people who are rooting for them and want them to do a really good job, that we're on the sidelines and we're just like, please, dear God, don't screw this up. Like, we are hoping that you just don't mess this up. Like, this is a great story and with great characters. Like, you got Darth Vader. I got a poster of this guy in the background, and I use all the memes for Star Wars. Obi-Wan Kenobi, I have used so many hello there's in memes or whatever, like General Kenobi, anything. Like, if I marry someone, I want to be able to go up to that person and say hello there, and then she responds with General Kenobi. I will pop down on one knee immediately after she says that. That's how much I love Star Wars. The Star Wars fan base is very passionate about these things, and that's why we don't like certain crap when we see that it's handled not in the best way possible. And I feel like even the guys at Disney should be able to tell, should be, I don't know if they do, I really don't know, it's hard to say, but should be able to tell that this series could have been handled way better. And I hope that when they see that fans are reaching out to re-edit their material, it shows that you have a passionate community and a community that loves Star Wars and just wants to see good Star Wars. We don't want to see bad Star Wars. We want y'all to succeed. We want y'all to make the best material possible. And when you don't do it and you have a series like Obi Wan Kenobi and you have fans that are still passionate about it but wish it was handled in a different way, and they spend hours and hours and hours of their own free time re-editing it and recomposing it and doing all these things and making their own material, I feel like that's some kind of unity, if anything. I don't know. The fact that Disney hasn't sued anyone yet is probably a good thing. So we'll ride that wave until we reach the inevitable conclusion of Disney reaching out to that person to say, hey, we want to sue you for all you're worth. To which I'd say, hey, Disney, you suck. I think that Star Wars fans, especially after this show, have really narrowed in on what we're hopefully looking for in a Star Wars show. Just to broaden everything out, I think it kind of comes down to this. The concept of a show like that seems freaking awesome because it is. It's something that we would all love to see. We all love the character of Obi Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader, and it would be a show that everyone, I feel like, if you're a Star Wars fan, would really love to watch. But the execution of it, and I've said this quite a few times before, just felt like people doing a job instead of people really having a good story that they want to tell. Because the show, I feel like, in execution, in writing, for the most part, just feels like people that were hired on to execute a job by a corporation that knows that this is going to make money. And don't get me wrong, I know that there are passionate people that are working on this show. I'm going to credit Hayden Christensen, Obi Wan Kenobi, Ian McGregor. Deborah Chow had one of the best episodes of The Mandalorian and clearly has passion for the material. All of these guys coming back. Moses Ingram had a really good performance at the end. Her character was written terribly, and I still think that she was humongously miscast, but even so, like, she had a really good performance at the end, and she proves that she is a very good actress. All of that to say, when it comes down to it, the shaky cam, the not really good lighting, the insurmountably terrible writing in some areas, the discount all right score at best, like, all of this comes down to execution that does not prove the quality of the show that we were promised. The highlight of the show was supposed to be the rematch between Darth Vader and Obi Wan Kenobi. Everyone was waiting for the rematch of the century because we were promised the rematch of the century, quote unquote, in the words of Kathleen Kennedy. And when you say that, that has humongous implications for awesome spectacle and an awesome sword fight, choreography, setting, and everything. What we got was a decent choreography, like all right at best choreography, in a setting where you can't see anything because everything is so dark and so muddy and really gross if you have a slightly downgraded TV like me, that everything is just a pixel. And the cinematographer, for some reason, told the cameraman to have a seizure in every single shot because it's so freaking shaky. All of that combines into a duel and a finale that does not live up to my personal expectations, and I feel like everyone really agrees, which is why we made our own edit, or they made their own edit. I didn't make my own edit. I didn't put into any work into this. I'm barely putting any work into this video. I'm sipping Starbucks while I'm doing this. This is not a lot of effort. This is not my maximum effort. All that is to say that in this particular instance, I feel like fans understood the story better. It's not that we know everything about cinematography, lighting, writing, and everything there is. I mean, I've seen some fan films online that are absolutely atrocious, but that being said, I've also seen some other fan films online that are executed way better than Disney with way less of the budget. Star Wars series, Darth Vader movie, Darth Maul short film online. Man, if any of you have seen that Darth Maul short film online, just Google Darth Maul short film. It will be the first thing that pops up. I guarantee you that short film has better lightsaber choreography than anything in really the last few Star Wars movies in general, like anything in The Rise of Skywalker or anything in the Obi Wan Kenobi series. It is gorgeous. That doesn't mean that I'm going to stop watching Star Wars. I love Star Wars, and I'm always rooting for good Star Wars content. I hope the Ahsoka series is going to be great. I hope the Andor series is awesome, and I hope any future Star Wars projects are awesome. I'm pessimistic as all hell because of everything that's happened with the Kenobi series, but I do hope for the best because there is a smidge of optimism in me that hasn't completely been strangled to death by everything that they've produced in the past few years. And if all else fails, we can just go on Disney Plus and watch the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy to remind ourselves that all that crap was so much better handled back then. But that's going to be, that's it. I'm done talking, and I don't have an outro. I'm not going to talk anymore.